Netanyahu has just declared war on Gaza. It's now on Saturday about roughly 11:38 in the morning. I don't know, a few minutes ago. He says, we're not in a military operation against Gaza, we're at war with them. So the response is going to be, I would say, massive, and Hezbollah has said they're watching everything, and Israel better be careful what they do. So this thing could go. Look, I'm going to tell you right now, some of you will not understand what I'm saying, some of you will. When you read Zechariah 12, which is a battle that has not yet happened, and it's not Gog and Magog, it precedes Gog and Magog. In Gog and Magog, it says Israel's at rest, at peace, no bars, no walls, wealth and riches, gold, silver, cattle. Obviously, we're not living without bars and walls at rest and peace. So we're not ready for Gog and Magog. So forget that one. Zechariah 12 is where you need to focus. And when you read Zechariah 12, the two witnesses are in control of the country. Okay, they're called the governors, but the word should be translated judges. I live in Israel. Okay, I'm an Israeli. I've been here many years. It's judges would be a better phraseology. And in Isaiah 1, it says that the Lord's going to run Israel again with the judges, like at the first, Moses and Aaron, which are prophets. The only two prophets coming are the two witnesses. And if that's not enough, they burn up their enemies on the left hand and the right hand. And who the heck has fire coming out of their mouths? And when you read Zechariah 12, the government of Israel is no longer there. It's the two witnesses are running it. So this could be the build-up to Zechariah 12. And if we start seeing Lebanon and Syria and Iran and countries like that getting into the fight, and I would say that we're headed towards Ezekiel 34, where the government of Israel is cut off, the bad shepherds. The shepherds are the government and the rabbis in Israel, because the government takes the role of the shepherd. And the rabbis are embedded in the government heavily and influence it heavily. So, because they have political parties. So, basically, it's too soon to call what's going on. Okay, we've had lots of wars with Gaza. They're not rare. It may just be a war with Gaza, and it may be they shall swoop down on the shoulders of the Philistines, and that might be what it is, and that's all it is. Or it might be something else. If it's something else, then Jordan will be getting into it. Jordan has a border with us. The Arab terrorists are still occupying kibbutzes, villages, settlements. They're sending more reinforcements into Israel through the holes in the Gaza fence. Israel is beginning to take control back. They're beginning to bomb positions in Gaza. And I think the correct response to this is going to have to be an invasion of Gaza and just demilitarizing all the terrorist groups there. And the United States said the following: Israel has the right to defend itself. Well, going in, this was an unprovoked attack, okay? So going into Gaza to strip them of their weapons would be a legitimate interpretation to defend itself. Bombing them heavily is also another way of doing it. But the real solution is to strip them of their weapons. You can't bomb them that effectively because they put their facilities in civilian areas. And you'd have a lot of collateral damages now with civilians. And is Israel ready to do that? They might be. They've been going around, the terrorists from Gaza, in the areas they've gotten some control over, and they're burning houses. And when the people come out of the house, they take them captive, or they kill them. They shoot them when they run out of the house. These are men, women, and children. So the special forces are on the scenes, and they're engaging the Palestinians now, which is why they're sending reinforcements in. And it's Um, Probably Netanyahu, I would think, and the generals want to get control over Israel better before they do a big attack on Gaza. Now, the rockets are still flying. I would say they've been reduced as much as 15 or 20%, maybe 25%, but they're still flying freely. So they got a problem, but I think probably by the afternoon, mid-afternoon or evening, they'll have control over all of Israel that these terrorists occupied. You got to remember, they locked themselves up in one of these settlements with hostages, and you're not going to get the hostages back alive. They're basically dead people walking. What are you going to do to get them back out? Breach? As soon as you breach, they'll shoot them. What are you going to do? They're like as good as dead, you know. I mean, you got all this Hollywood breaching, you know, with Arnold and Stallone, you know, breaching successfully, but, you know, it's not going to be that easy to do. They'll just have a couple of guys sitting there with AK-47s. As soon as you hear the noise of the breaching, shoot them. That's it. It's almost not doable. People are trapped in their bomb shelters, trapped in houses, waiting for the IDF. But the IDF is on the scene, I think, in all these locations now, and they're fighting with them. And we deployed IDF Special Forces, of which we have 42 different units, and they're legitimate, could be 44, and they're legitimate, real heavily trained Special Forces, and they're, you know, very good. They're like Recon Marines or Navy SEALs, and, you know, they're heavily trained just like that, and well equipped, and they've got better equipment. You know, it's our turf, it's our territory. They're going to lose. It's just a question of how much time it's going to take. Hours, probably. These terrorists are probably not going to give up. They're going to go for martyrdom. And it's a mess here in Israel, and the people are outraged. This never should have been allowed to happen. So I'm not thinking we're going to have a big movement against Gaza until we retain control of all these houses and settlements and towns and villages in Israel that have been occupied by these invaders. And I don't think that's going to be more than several hours. And then they're going to take their attention to Gaza. But in the meantime, they are bombing. So the Air Force is running the action against Gaza right now with aircraft. And the Air Force doesn't get involved in on-the-ground actions like terrorists hold up with hostages. They don't really get involved with that. So that's basically the update. I'm noticing progressively more and more decreasing of rockets. So the Israeli Air Force has probably been busy. And, you know, once they launch another rocket, we get a lock on the position of the launch, and along comes a bomb. Now, they haven't told us how many aircraft they've launched. I mean, it could be 6, it could be 26, I don't know. But I imagine it's probably around 25, maybe 50. And they're going to go round robin. You know, a group is going to go in, drop their ordnance, and then come back to base, refuel, rearm, and go take off again. And they'll just keep rotating until they give Gaza a really bad pounding. Nobody said anything about a ground invasion. But they did call up a massive amount of reserve soldiers, so that could be because they're worried about Lebanon, or they're intending to do a ground up in Gaza. So we'll know more as this develops, and I'll keep you updated. Make sure you're subscribed and click the notices bell so you know when I come on with announcements. Okay, thanks. Oh, and one more time, they're trying to do a prisoner swap now, and it's not being accepted by Netanyahu. Because they're going to want, like 3,000 prisoners for 35 that they have. It doesn't look like it's going anywhere yet. Okay, I'm out.